Thanks for listening to the Joy FM. I'm Jules. If you have spent any time in Athens, you might have noticed a store called Epiphany. There is a really interesting story behind the storefront window that I want you to hear. So the owner of Epiphany is with us. In fact, we're actually on location at Epiphany in Athens, and the owner is Dara Buczynsky. Dara, thanks for joining us.
You're so welcome. I'm thrilled to be with you.
Well, I'm going to try really hard not to purchase too many things. I got to buy a couple of things while we're here, but would you please tell the listeners what makes Epiphany so unique?
Well, I think the thing that maybe surprises people about our store is that it really is a fundraising effort for my husband and I, and that we sell pretty things, gifts, clothing, home goods, books, but we give 100% of our proceeds to ministries that we've partnered with that we really believe in and want to get behind financially.
Okay, so you might have been driving down the road and you heard her say, and you thought, maybe I just heard that wrong. No, you heard it correctly, 100%. In fact, tell them what you do the last day of the year.
Well, it's a real, of course, with retail, the biggest season is your last quarter. So Christmas shopping is incredibly important for us, and we really appreciate all of our customers who support us during that time. But yes, at the end of December, we will empty out our bank account and give every penny away to our partner ministries.
So you start January the 1st with zero money.
Pretty much, yeah.
The hardest month in the year for retail.
Grateful for credit cards during that month. We do pay off our credit cards monthly, but yeah, it's very necessary in January.
Right. And so tell us about the ministries that you support through the profits that you make at Epiphany.
We have about, I think, 5 now partner charities, and Mercy Health Center is one, Heart for Orphans is another, Kupendwa, International Justice Mission, and Downtown Ministries. So we partner with them and have partnered with them for several years, but we also do Final Fridays. Every final Friday of a month, we will take a charity. Sometimes it's our partner charity, but we also have opportunities to support other ministries like Cure. That's a big one we do, Sparrow's Nest, other ministries that we just love. Mm-hmm. And so the proceeds from those day of sales will go to that ministry.
Now, you listed off a lot of ministries that maybe people are not familiar with, but there's a theme behind the ministries that you select that you support.
Yes. So our criteria, I guess, for supporting a ministry is that they serve what we believe are the least of these, when Jesus said, if you do unto me, you do it unto the least of these. So we are serving the underserved, the overlooked, the downtrodden. That's the kind of our common theme of ministries that we support. Paul and I personally support other things that are not in that genre, but for the store, that's our ministry model.
Well, and coming up, let's play a couple of songs, and then in about 10 minutes, I want to talk to you about the uniqueness of the store. Because as soon as you walk in, you'll see some things, and you'll hear some things that make the store a little bit different. So that's coming up in about 10 minutes. I'm Jules for the Joy FM, and tonight we're on location at a store called Epiphany. It's in downtown Athens, and actually you've just opened up another one in Monroe, and then you do a lot of online shopping at epiphany.athens.com. Did I say that right?
That's right.
All right, great. This is a very unique store because there is a purpose, and the purpose is to raise money to all different types of ministry that ministers to orphans, mm-hmm. and for medical, for those in need. And you make the experience when you walk in the front door different. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have a purring wall, mm-hmm. and you select different products that you sell with a purpose too.
Yes.
Share with us. There's something that you sell, and it's jewelry, and I believe handbags, mm-hmm. and it's called Able.
Yes.
Able. That's it.
Yes. So Able is a company that was founded in I think maybe 2012, and it has its own purpose and mission, which is to provide employment for women and to pay them livable wages so that they can keep their families at home. We really have a lot of women who are in poverty and are forced into situations of sex trafficking, prostitution. So they work in Ethiopia, Mexico, India, and they produce beautiful handbags, leather products. They've gotten into apparel now, great leather goods shoes, and now they do jewelry. So they actually, in Nashville, in their home base, they employ women who are coming out of sex trafficking and addiction recovery and have trained them how to make beautiful jewelry. So the jewelry sitting on our shelves are made by the hands of women who are now experiencing a new life and have a new purpose in life as a jeweler.
So you see the products that you're selling as another avenue to support other small businesses that have a purpose to help those in need.
Yes. So we, here in Athens, we have so many creatives and people who are passionate about social responsibility and sustainable product producing. And so that's, just to be able to support them and the things that God's put on their heart has just been a real joy.
Well, and Epiphany has been able to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's incredible because every single year is a walk of faith of, okay, God, if you don't show up, then this is it. This is done. Yes. But why a boutique? Why start a boutique? You could have started ice cream making to raise money for ministries and stuff like that. Why this?
This is just how God uniquely made me. I love beautiful clothing and gifts, and I think I used to feel a little bit guilty for that it was a vanity of mine, but I think anything that you give back to the Lord that He's placed in you, He can turn it to something that glorifies Him. So for me, it was my love for pretty things, and it's something that I think that He also wants us to enjoy our work, and so I love what I do. Being able to be in a pretty place with beautiful clothing. But yes, I could have sold yogurt or used tires. This is just the particular way that He made for us to be able to do what He called us to do.
And took your unique giftings.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do a couple of songs and then come back and talk to me, and I'll let you think about this, about the season of when you felt like God was calling you to do something, but then the waiting. And how God used that waiting season to grow you. Dara Buczynsky with Epiphany on the Joy FM. I'm Jules, and we've been chatting this evening about Epiphany, and it's a very unique boutique store. That is, make sure I gave it the right category. It's a unique boutique store that uses all the profit to support different ministries, that it's helping children and medical people, widows, anyone that's in need, and hundreds of thousands of dollars have been raised. It's really incredible, and it is really neat because you just did the next right thing, and you just followed God wherever. In that fact, it's led you now to open a second store in Monroe, doing online shopping as well, and we're celebrating what God is doing. But there was a season where He was stirring that in your heart that you wanted to do something, but then you waited. So talk to me about that waiting season, and what did you learn out of that?
Well, I think when God breaks your heart for something, and when, there's that song that says, break my heart for what breaks yours. So this was just His broken heart for orphans and for people without medical care or for people without a hope and a future. And in that season of waiting, which was really about 7 years before we opened our first store, it was active waiting, and it was searching, praying, looking for what the right next thing was to do towards the end of raising money to support the ministries that we were very passionate about and had served in. So we tried a lot of different things. I was speaking at small groups and speaking at orphan care conferences and asking for people to support monthly, sponsor orphans. So I kept moving in that direction, but I really never felt satisfied that was the thing that He had called me to until I spoke with a friend and was just kind of really complaining about how pathetic I was as a fundraiser and how hard it was. And she said, Dara, you love Jesus, you love orphans, and you love clothes. Do something with that. And that really just kind of lit a fire in me, because I thought that's something I can do. I'm better at that than I am at asking people to give money. Yeah. So that's where we landed with selling pretty things and giving the money away.
What would you tell that listener right now that says, I'm exactly in that season where I hear the rumblings, I know God is leading me, but I have no idea what that's going to look like?
Yeah, if you really feel like the Lord has put something on your heart and has purposed you to do that, lots of time in prayer, but keep moving and searching and going for it, because you can have passion that kind of tempers with time. But if it's from God, he just won't let you go, because really this is his heart. It's his heart for the broken. Whatever it is that God's put on your heart, that's his heart. And he will make a way. You just got to continue to move forward. You can't sit in the chair all day and say, you know, when it shows up on the horizon, then I'll know. I think just continue in prayer, continue in trying to serve where you can serve. It may be so small and seem so insignificant, but I did a whole lot of that before we opened our first store, because it just was something that would not die in me. I just knew that he had purposed me for this. And so here we are today. So I would just say, just keep in prayer, a lot of prayer, and keep moving forward.
What great wisdom and advice. And listen, she's on the next Jewel Show podcast, and we talk a lot deeper and a lot further about that calling and how none of that seasons are wasted. Even when you feel like you're spinning your wheels, God has a purpose for that season. And so I highly encourage you to go on over to my podcast and listen to it. You can do that by going to thejoyfm.com/Jules. Epiphany is where we're at tonight. And I appreciate, Dara, you letting us come on in and showing me the store. And now maybe we can cut out and do some shopping.
Thank you so much. Yes, that would be my great joy.
Okay. All right. Hey, thanks again for joining us.
You're welcome.